You still helped out. I saw you with those other kids. You're a natural. I think things are winding down anyway. Why not take a break? And then I'll swap off with you and take a break myself afterwards. Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Honestly, I'm kind of worn out. Ashley's right. I need to step away from this craziness, if only for a few minutes. After a silent nod from Gavin to confirm it's cool with him, I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. The employee singular no apostrophe lounge. What a day. Quirky coworkers, die-hard pro gamers, volatile kids getting into volatile situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness or some such cliche, but nothing's an easily dismissed cliche when it's happening to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. I drop down into one of the cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back to try and work the kinks out of my sore shoulders. And spot an upside down kid. What? Huh? Oh, wait, I'm the one leaning backwards. I sit up and turn around instead. Better. Wait, what's a kid doing back here? Hey, I think he was hoping I would notice him. Hi. Hi? And you are? Mikey. Oh, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Hark. So, what are you doing back here? This is an employee-only area. Wait, there's a keypad. How'd you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with the door code written on it. Huh. Score one for Ashley's wild storytelling being more fact than fiction. Okay, but you can't stay back here. Well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements left out in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but...
Please don't send me back out there.
Well, this is curious. I lean in so we can both be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the guy who solves problems.
No problems. Just don't want to go out there.
Don't you want to go play with your friends? And he gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner.
I don't got any friends. I don't know anybody here. My family just moved to the city. And before that, we lived in another city. And one more for that, but I was too little to remember.
Oh, that's really... I feel you, man.
Mom told me to come to the party anyway, and I didn't want to, but she took me anyway. And then she left because she's got to work.
Oh, that's kind of cruel. Wait, so you're telling me that you left your 5-year-old child unattended in a place that he's not familiar with, in a city that he's not familiar with? Are you kidding me? Parents of the year for the win. New kid in town, huh? He nods mutely. Still, I should have busted him there and then. Brought him back out to the party where the other parents could supervise him. I should have told Gavin. I should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid, I won't tell on you. If you want to stay back here for the rest of the party, I'll keep you company. Thanks, you really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why? I thought you'd want to make me go. You're an adult like Mom. Hey, I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. The new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although for me, that started happening back when I was 10. Again and again, moving from town to town, school to school. Never really making any friends. Not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones, worse ones. They'd be working all day long, too tired when they came home to do much of anything. After years and years of this, I stopped hoping things would get better. I decided I'd just take what I could get. I'd go with the flow. What does that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad, but you don't care. You just do what you have to do without really being sad over it.
But that sounds so sad. You weren't sad? It's sad to never care about anything, right?
I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad, even though I really was. And then I bit my tongue. I bite my tongue hard. Because my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't have helped Little Hark out if an adult did this for me. So instead I decided to be the adult that Little Hark would have needed. Hey, it could be totally worse. Aliens could attack. It won't always be this bad. Life has ups and downs. Your mommy loves you. That's why she works hard. And leaves you here stranded with kids that you don't know. And people you don't know. But this won't beat you, right? You're a tough kid. You take the time you need. I'll stay with you. I'll joke around with him. Hey, it could be totally worse. Aliens could attack. You know, Mikey, things feel bad now, but they could be worse. Invaders from Mars could swoop in and dress everybody in silly hats. What? Just think about it. Everybody wearing really silly hats. They're all so embarrassed that they hand over the Earth to the aliens. And that's when the dinosaurs show up. The kid stares at me, not sure if he's curious or confused. Okay, so the dinosaurs start fighting the aliens, but they smash all the schools, and that means you don't have to have homework anymore. And that's when the monsters start showing up, because the aliens and dinosaurs are making too much noise and they can't sleep. Next thing you know, it's just monsters and aliens and dinosaurs smashing everything, and nobody's having any fun at all except them. This is the best story ever. That's silly. That's really silly. You're smiling, aren't you? He nearly drops a smile on realizing he's wearing one. When you're sad or when you're mad, just think to yourself, it could be worse, then invent some silly way it could be worse. Soon you won't feel so bad. And hey, at least there's no dinosaurs smashing things, right? Right. Hey, you know one great way to make friends? Jokes, stories, having fun. I bet if you went back out there, you'd find someone who'd laugh at a silly story about dinosaurs and aliens and robots. There's robots too? There's all the robots, if you want there to be. How about it? Let's go back to the party and you can meet some new friends if you try. Okay, I'll go talk to them. I'll talk about the robot dinosaurs. I like the way that we handled that. I'm very satisfied with that. Go get him, Mikey. I take his hand to lead him back out to the main room. Ah, mission accomplished. And off he goes. I'm not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed all Mikey's problems. I'm no child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for one moment there, I was able to help someone in the same situation I found myself long ago. 15 years ago. Everything changed. No more family vacations, no more arcade visits. We couldn't afford them, and they couldn't take time off work. The whole Angel family had to learn to settle, to accept the lot in life we'd been dealt, to simply go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now, here I am. Today has been, well, bonkers, alternately boring and hectic, surreal, and way too real. But I can honestly say I'm more alive today than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep beep! Beep beep park! My emotional voice analysis subroutines combined with your body language suggest you're very happy right now. Yeah, I guess I am. How did you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how did you know I'd love this job so much?
Oh, I know.
Oh, that's easy. I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. Oh, it has elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements, a fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers, helping people out, and so on. Also, I cross-referenced your roommate's postings talking about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%.
99.97%.
But I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was 99.97% sure, you'd be willing to give it a try. Oh my. Clever. Clever girl. Speaking of dinosaurs, clever girl. Another thing to thank Juniper for, I guess. You're a very weird little app, you know?
Hooray!
I try to be. What would have happened if I didn't get this app in the first place? Would I still end up in the arcade anyway? Probably. It would be bizarre if I didn't. From the cars pulling up in the parking lot, it looks like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade, anyway. Most of the gamers have fled out by now, if they hadn't already fled the tidal wave of kiddies. My first impulse is to go bug Gavin about my paperwork, or get me a name tag at least. But that can wait. I'd rather go help someone with the tidying up, or maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. Not enough time to run around checking with everyone though. Who do I want to hang out with? This is super easy. Gavin's tapping at his tablet and frowning. I guess I'll go right to him. Ashley's quietly repairing her costume. Maybe she could use company. Naomi's prying gum out of a coin slot and looks ready to cry. Oh, that's sad. Queen Bee's packing up her gear, ready to go home. Teo's cooling down with some Fast Cars 5 before the day is through. Percy's finally finished his Moopy game and is ready to leave. But I want to see if he wants to go out for like some coffee or something, you know? Percy's finally finished his Moopy game and is ready to leave. Having finished today's high score run, Percy's relaxing a bit by the Moopy machine, just casually browsing on his phone before he heads off. Huh, good. Market's up. My morning trades will cash out nicely. And the Moopy score? Oh, quite terrible, I'm afraid. I had to restart twice. Meaning he played literally 75 cents worth of gaming all day long. Wow. Yow. Still keeps my skills sharp, yes? Practice, practice, practice. Plus, it was quite pleasant seeing all those kids having such a good time in the Funplex. I always play better when people around me are happy. Except for the ones screaming and throwing cupcakes, or being hassled by angry parents, or having their stuff stolen, or... true, your job does by its very nature bring you into contact with those who are specifically not happy. Chin up, love. I love how he calls me love. I love how he calls me love. Chin up, love. There are good days and bad days. True, but an arcade is a place where the good ones outnumber the bad. It's a palace of dreams, you see. I glance around at the palace, which is a little more than a hole in the wall of the Twin Pines Mall. It's no Deco's palace, though. That guy's a millionaire. Maybe I can just work the good old days. Maybe I can just work the good old days and call in sick for the bad ones. Is that why you keep coming back, your dreams? Maybe I can just work the good days and call in sick for the bad ones. If I could prognosticate which days could be the nasty ones, I'm sure I could arrange to come down with a flu or something, repeatedly. Ha! If only we'd see our futures, yes? Well, assuming them to be long and healthy ones at any rate. But I say you need to be willing to take the good with the bad. It beats taking nothing at all. Only so many days left for any of us. Cherish what you have, even the sour moments, Hawk. It's for the better. Well, if you'll excuse me, I should really be heading home now. Job well done and all that, for both of us. I love this guy. He's so cool. Cheerio, then? Yes, tip-top. Cheerio, governor, fish and chips, Bob's your uncle and whatnot. Or, I could simply say goodbye. That also works. With things winding down, there's just one last thing to take care of before I'm out the door. I seek out Gavin to handle the remains of the day. Hark. Good work today. Thanks, boss. Mid-boss? Sub-boss? Gavin will do. I can't say you've been a perfect employee, but my standards are impossibly high, so I'll just assume you are as close to perfect as is reasonable. I'll take that as a compliment from Gavin. I'm not entirely sure why you consulted Percy regarding those tickets. He's not on staff, but I suppose that's a minor issue. It's because I'm crushing heavily on him, Gavin. That's why. Normally, I've dealt with angry parents myself, but I was distracted. I've only second-hand accounts of your performance there, as Teo told me everything. Although Teo isn't staff, I suppose he stepped up to handle that rude customer with a rational and calm attitude, so I'll consider that handled. I'm not pleased that you sold our Moopy for only $1,000, not $3,000 as I'd requested. Hey, you still got a profit, man. Okay? You still got a profit. Gavin, we only paid $200 for that game. I'd be ripping off a customer. A customer with exceptionally deep pockets, and one who squats on that game all day, spending only a handful of change in the process. If anything, $3,000 is what we need to make up the lost profit from Percy being so Moopy obsessed. What's more, why it's still here is a good question. Was I not clear I wanted it gone? Percy didn't want to break up the family. They're machines, not people. Are you a machine, Gavin? He also didn't want Naomi to be sad. Yes, well, Naomi needs to learn to let go, I'd say. Ahem. Are you giving our poor little Hark a hard time, Gavin, dear? Miss Francine, I thought you were napping. Naomi's dreams matters too, as does the dream of Percy, that poor fellow. Poor? Isn't Percy stinking rich?
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Gavin, I know you mean well, wanting to keep everyone's dreams afloat, but sacrifices made in that name which shatter the dreams of others, well, that's not what the Funplex is all about. Hark, you understand, yes? The reason why? Why am I here? That's the question she asked me during that interview. Now I think I understand. I came here today looking for hope. Hope I could do more with my life than compromise. Settle for what I can get, and go with the flow. Everybody I've met today is full of hope. Gamers chasing scores, people following their passions. Nobody here is willing to give up on their dreams. Not even you, Gavin. You know we're better than this, Gavin. We don't settle. We chase our hopes and dreams and won't accept anything less. I see.
Apologies.
Hark, Miss Francine, I apologize. It's difficult to balance my idealism against my realism some days, but I know in my heart I need to err on the side of idealism, even if my mind screams in protest. I can assume you are still keen to work here, Hark? I don't even hesitate before replying. Absolutely, especially if Percy is going to be here regularly. Gavin fetches a nearby short stack of forms. Fill these out tonight, hand them in to me first thing in the morning. And welcome to the Funplex. Where is my name tag? Gavin. I am very disappointed in your performance, Gavin. Where is my name? Welcome to the family. I'm sure you'll fit in just fine, Hark. Is this level 2? One bus ride later, and it's home again. Home again, jiggity jig. Juniper, already home from work, bounds over eagerly to interrogate me on my day.
Hey!
So, how'd it go? It went well. Well, or well? Really well. Your little app came through, despite being terrifyingly omniscient and just a little bit unnerving. You forgot to mention adorable. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear things worked out. And you even came home with a smile like when you were a lifeguard. Huh, I guess I am smiling. Interesting. By the way,
there's just one teensy-weensy little question I have for you.
Yes?
Why exactly did you order a giant crate full of pizza bagels?
Oh my goodness. I did not. Did I neglect to mention that part of the terms and conditions? On the plus side, I know that what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. Wow. So this did not happen to Juniper? And that's level 1 of Arcade Spirits complete. Hey look, you also won a prize. You'll get one of these for each level you clear, plus some extras for various endings and other hidden thingies. Now let's check your score. Percy seems to like you. He's a quiet one, but with a big heart. Yep, that's about right. You're proving to be gentle, sweet, and a compassionate soul, with a little bit of sense of humor and logic sprinkled in. Also, you've scored 6,300 points. On what? How do I score that many points? Nice, keep talking with people and your score will go up, up, up. Today's pizza fact is, Americans eat approximately 100 acres of pizza each day, or 350 slices per second. Wow! Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 2? Yes, save the game. Let's save the game. Okay. Check out the prizes. Unlockable artwork. Oh, cool. Level 2. Are we getting this every single level? Okay. Level 2. Chasing ghosts? Okay. Because that's a reference to Moopy, or Pac-Man. It is the future. Year 20XX. And you know what? Things are pretty okay. I've worked as a floor attendant at the Funplex for 2 weeks now. Hard work, to be sure, but rewarding. In a spiritual sense, at least. I've helped Naomi prepare pinball games, I've had tea with Francine while she reminisced about that far-out 1960s. I have evacuated gamers when the kitchen accidentally caught on fire. I've had numerous kids puking up nachos on my clothes. I've scraped gum off any number of surfaces. I've chased what turned out to be entirely too many spiders out of a single skee-ball machine. Okay, look, I know I'm not painting this as a very rosy picture so far, but honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy even amidst the chaos and grossness. I'm happy, and that's all that matters, right? Right? You're happy. This is the best I've seen you in ages, Hark. Before you'd come home all drained and exhausted. Now, well, you're still tired, but a good tired. My roommate Juniper, she'd take it to stopping by during her lunch break whenever she could get away from her office cubicle long enough to do so. It's still hard work, don't get me wrong, but overall, it's good work. I just feel good. Totally good and stuff.
Yes!
Good. Agreed. Super good. Double plus good. Iris, we talked about you listening on my conversations. What did I tell you about that? To pretend I wasn't eavesdropping, even when I am? Exactly. You know, I'd be more upset about my creepy, privacy-invading digital overmistress, but I have to admit that Iris really pulled through for me. Even if she also ordered a 3-month supply of pizza bagels on my behalf.
When you have pizza on a bagel...
Oh, so Juniper, how long do you have left on your break? Any time to squeeze in some pinball or something? I can spot you tokens. No can do. Our new assistant synergy manager arranged a team building exercise. I have to, like, move colored bits of paper around or something and then exchange high fives. Assistant synergy manager? That sounds like a very vague job. Nah, it's actually entry level. Good pay and right on track to middle management. Pretty cushy, if a bit dull. Funny thing is that they asked me if I knew anybody who'd fit in before they stopped advertising for candidates, and I said, nope, who'd want to do that? When was this exactly? Oh, 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, right when I needed to find work, you told them you didn't know any good candidates for a well-paying entry-level job.
Oh, well, but you wouldn't have liked being an assistant synergy manager, right? Not one bit.
Probably not. Juniper? Please tell me you told them no because I'd already taken this job by that point, not because you forgot.
Hey, I didn't forget. I just, didn't bother telling you about the open position that night. I mean, you'd already had so many jobs you hated. I knew you'd hate being an assistant synergy manager, so I didn't feel the need to tell you. And it all worked out, right? You just spent the last 5 minutes telling me how happy you are here.
Not a lie, I was happy here indeed. Also not a lie, having packed pizza bagels for lunch, after having pizza bagels for breakfast because we barely had enough money to cover the rent this week, pulled together. Also not a lie, Gavin constantly hiding the numbers from us, insisting things were fine, all while dryly joking about perpetually being on the edge of crash and burn. Also not a lie, that every time someone in my family tried to chase after happiness instead of stability, we fell deeper and deeper into debt and misery. Hark, say something. You're scaring me. When I lost my lifeguard job, I barely reacted. Didn't care that I was impoverished again and facing an uncertain future. I guess one of the nasty side effects of no longer going with the flow is no longer being numb to the reality of your situation. But I shouldn't feel upset. I've been genuinely enjoying my new job. It's restored my sense of hope and that my days can be something to live through, not just endure. I have no right to be angry or upset at losing an opportunity at a safer, more stable future, right? It's okay. I'm where I want to be, honest truth. It's okay, everything is fine, lied to predict humor. It's not okay, why don't you tell me? No, it's okay, I'm where I want to be. So, I won't be angry or upset. Simple as that. I decided I was done compromising, right? Done with settling, going with the flow. I'm gonna be the one to break the family curse. I chose this path of my own free will, even if I didn't have all the facts at the time. But, if I'm going to be honest, boundless confidence doesn't cover the simple fact that I chose to be vulnerable rather than safe. If the arcade closes, if anything else goes wrong, still, no need to dump all that on Juniper. It's okay, Juniper. You were right. I'd have hated that job, and things are great here.
Oh, good. You were kind of freaking me out. Trust me, it's the right decision. You'd learn to loathe working at my office, like I do.
Then you should work here.
I mean, sure, the pay is good, and you get solid health insurance, and paid vacation time, and they have a sweet coffee shop right in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
And these really great chairs that support your lower back, like $1,000 chairs from Sweden crafted by master chairsmiths.
Thank you, Juniper. Juniper, I said it's fine. Everything is fine. Honestly, I'm okay. I mean, I won't deny that job would have been a safer bet. I want to contribute my fair share to the apartment rent, you know? But what's done is done. I'd rather look forward than back.
Right. Forget I said anything. Please forget I said anything. I'm sorry. I should have told you. I shouldn't have held that back.
You should have still told me. Even if I wouldn't have liked the job, you should have at least mentioned it.
But I still wouldn't have pushed you to take the job. It's totally horrible at my office. You'd have been miserable there, like me.
Yeah. I heard about how miserable you are. Juniper, it's cool. You're right. I'd have hated it. Okay, good. I've got a good feeling about all this. I think you're right where you need to be. Even if I was, kind of awful about getting you here. Hey, I gotta get back to the office. Have good lunch, okay? I can feel the distant rumble of a frozen box of pizza bagels taunting me from the recently repaired employee bake room. Yeah, okay, and you have a good rest of the hours of your day, yeah? You bet. I'm okay with this. Everything is fine. Right? Right. What I need right now is a distraction. And frozen pizza bagels are most certainly not it. My pocket money is really slim, but I think I need to step out for some fresh air and treat myself to a better lunch than that. And hey, maybe some company too. Nice and distracting, talking to someone about anything other than this. Let's see who's available. Percy's taking a break from his score caching. Queensby is between matches right now. Teo's shaking it on the Showtime stage. Ashley's not on mascot duty today. We all know who I'm going for. Percy's taking a break from his score caching. I know Percy is cool with people interrupting his Moopy Mania, but I still prefer to wait until he's taking a break between rounds. Looks like good timing for lunch. Percy's flipping through messages on his phone in a highly bored manner when I walk up to him. Hey, Percy! How's Moopy today? Oh, pretty bad performance overall. Haven't even cleared 1 million for the day, and a few of my stock picks are down. Bad luck overall. But on the whole, can't complain. Every day is a gift. That's the spirit. That's how I like to see things. So, do you need something, Hark? How about love? Do you need something, love? Oh, I need some love. To be honest, if I don't get out of here and get my mind off of things, I'm gonna melt down. I was thinking lunch. You? Had lunch yet? Don't you usually have those little pizzas? You noticed, huh? I subsisted on peanut butter sandwiches for a time. It's nothing to be ashamed of, Hark. Life is ups and downs. But seeing as you're looking to avoid the downs at the moment, by all means, let's go fetch some lunch. If I may suggest our destination, please do. I always love restaurant recommendations, the foodie that I am. You haven't been to the whole store yet, have you? The donut shop? Donut shop and used bookstore. They have pastries and sandwiches and the like. It's a charming little cafe at heart. If you'd be kind enough to accompany me, unless you'd rather we have little pizzas. No. As a foodie, I hate having the exact same thing over and over again, no matter how good it is. No matter how good it is, I can't have it every single day, because then that just spoils it. Donuts and books, a winning combination.
Much obliged.
Then let us be off. Noob, oh boy, we got a first date. We got a first date with Percy. Despite coming to this little strip mall for 2 weeks, I hadn't actually visited our neighbors. Mostly I did whatever needed doing, took orders from Gavin, lent a hand to Ashley and Naomi, things like that. Whatever the job happened to call for. No more, no less. I couldn't say I'd been part of any community outside the immediate circle of my coworkers, whereas the others visited Whole Story frequently. Percy leads the way into a shop that smells strangely of dusty old books and sugary sweetness. I don't think I'd ever been in a little independent bookstore. Or a bookstore at all, for that matter. It's 20XX. Who buys books in brick and mortar stores anymore? I do? In real life? I love the bookstore. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. But despite the subdued atmosphere compared to the arcade, there are customers present and accounted for, sipping coffee, reading old tomes, and yes, munching donuts. Percy secures a tiny table for us before directing me to the bar. Hang on, what the heck is up with this menu? It's organized by the Dewey Decimal System. Oh, I love it. I'll have a Douglas Adams. Don't worry, they know my order. And it's my treat, yes? That's sweet. I mumble out a thanks, trying not to make a big deal of it. Cash is tight and boutique cafe pastries wouldn't help my situation much. A pair of middle-aged guys wait to take my order. Hey, I'd like one super sweet glazed chocolate sprinkle special surprise with orange juice. I can't have things too overly sweet. I do love donuts though. You know what? Surprise me. What's your favorite donut? Just a glazed and some coffee. Keep it simple. Definitely not keep it simple. When it comes to food, I am very bold. That is something I am super bold and adventurous about. You know what? Surprise me. What's your favorite donut? Hey, what's good? What's your favorite order from the menu?
One Terry Pratchett coming up, a jam pastry with Clatchy and coffee.
That sounds perfect to me. That sounds something that I would like. The second fellow puts together my order, and also drops a small paperback book onto the tray featuring a many-legged wooden travel trunk on the cover.